What is up, Broncos country? I'm your host, Dak. Thanks for joining me again on a Monday night. Sorry about the previous. If you guys are just joining in, I accidentally had some technical difficulties, got a little excited. But we got a fun show and plan for you guys. I got two guests joining me today, Ty with the Incomplete Broncos podcast. And I have Jolene, who is a ball knower especially when it comes to the draft. Let's get into the show. But first, I gotta ask: do you even Broncos, bro?
Touchdowns and tackles, our spirits are high. From the mile-high cheers, we reach for the sky. Analyze instead. Every week we grind. Passions in our hearts, leave no fan behind. The heart of the game, let's make it clear. Do you even Broncos, bro? You know we here. Do you even Broncos, bro, when we hit that field? Orange and blue pride, it's our strength and our shield. Every win, every loss, we deal with the flow. Broncos bros on the mic, let the whole world know.
Welcome back to the show. It's Monday, your favorite time of the week. Joining the Broncos bros. Montoya couldn't be here with me. He had a wedding, I think, to go to, but it's okay. The show must go on. I got two guests joining me today to talk some ball, to talk about our favorite team. March 9th, the legal tampering period begins. I'm excited. But I have a fun little show planned. We're going to be building our own roster today through free agency, spending $10. What a budget. That's not our salary cap, though. But first, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time watching us, please don't forget to share, share, and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, switch over to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, check us out from there. Hit the notification bell. We really appreciate it. After you do that, please check out all our shows throughout the week. Orange and Blue Blitz with Isaiah Mondays and Fridays at 11. Broncos Bros Mondays at 7 with yours truly, and then Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue with Jay, Johnny, and Broncos Grump. And then Wednesdays you got your doubleheader, Doc and JT starting it off with Mile High Symposium, talking all things Mile High sports. And then Broncos Talk to top it off on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thursdays, we got the Mile High Outcast with Tim Dog and Mile High Medlock, Thursdays at 7 p.m. And then Fridays, check out Viva Los Broncos with Adon and Bronco Libre. They're doing their thing. And then, right now we don't have any shows on the weekends because, it is the off season. But that doesn't mean that we stop talking football, right? But after that, please check out our sponsor, W. Check out their website. If you want the Jitterless Energy Blend to get your day going, it comes with no sugar, no calories, no maltodextrin, no fillers, no artificial colors. Johnny and Jay swear by it. They say it's amazing. So if you do check out their website and you run to a few flavors that you might like, please use our code OBN10 for 10% discount off your order, please. Yes. So enough with the chit chat, with the whole housekeeping thing. It's time to get the show started. Let me bring on my special guest to join me. First, we're bringing in Ty. You know him, you love him, you check him out on Incomplete Podcast. What is up, my guy? Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I really didn't want to do this shit alone, so here you are.
Oh, I appreciate it. When I saw the tweet last night, oh man, I haven't talked Broncos football in 3 weeks. So I'm like, you know what, I gotta jump in on this. So I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you for jumping on in. Let's have someone else jump on in as well. Jolene, the draft guru. I like to call her that. She's taught me quite a bit of things when it comes to the draft, when it comes to prospects. We're going to be talking about the draft, but we're going to also be doing free agency, building our roster. Thank you for joining me. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Dude, we almost hit 60 degrees over here today. So weird.
Ooh, wow.
Lucky snow like 2 days ago, and now it's all gone. So
Your
You
snow
know.
must have come my way then.
Probably.
Well, it is raining where I'm at, but that's okay. It's nothing. That no rain is gonna ruin my sunshine, ruin my shine at all. Because I got two of you guys rocking with me today. Like I told you behind the stage, I cannot do this shit alone. I'm not really built for that. You know, there's only so much that I could do. Talking for an hour, it just ain't happening. You know, maybe I could do 15, 20 minutes type of thing, but no, we ain't doing that. So Jolene, I've probably asked you your favorite Broncos moment, but I like to ask our new guests on the Broncos Bro show, you know, typically for their first time joining the show, what is your favorite Broncos moment as a Bronco fan? Ty, fill me in. What is that favorite Broncos moment for you all time as a Broncos fan?
Well, that one's kind of a little bit easier
Okay.
because it actually what made me a Broncos fan. So the first NFL game I ever watched was Super Bowl 32 between the Broncos and Packers. So that is definitely my favorite moment of all time.
The
Ooh, okay.
helicopter.
The helicopter, yep.
And I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to check out the new John Elway documentary. It's a banger.
Mhm. I did.
Check
Mhm.
If those of you viewers that haven't seen it, I encourage you to do so. Jolene, do you want to share with the class maybe some of the viewers that weren't with you the last time you were on my show? What's your favorite Broncos moment? And I'll share mine. Go ahead.
I have quite a few to pick from, man. Um, Boy, that Super Bowl 32 season was special. Um, hmm. I mean, even maybe the next Super Bowl when Elway raises it up and says this one's for Pat, like that
Yeah.
that was a tearjerker. Um, Jeez. I don't know. I don't really have a favorite moment. I just love my Broncos, and
Yeah.
you know, I was born into it, so I've
Hey,
enjoyed it ever since.
I love it. I love it. No, that's good. That's always a good moment. It's iconic for sure. Winning 2015 was pretty special for me. You know, watching the Broncos, I was kind of too young to remember John Elway a little bit. You know, I understood football, but I didn't understand it quite the level to where I do now. And you know, watching Peyton Manning, you know, win himself and go off into the sunset with the Super Bowl ring. I love it. Von Miller taking over and making
Yeah.
Superman and becoming his kryptonite type of thing, you know, and breaking Cam Newton's career. Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments all time for sure.
I could jump on the wagon with that one for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's just.
Absolutely.
And then for a defensive player to be named a Super Bowl MVP is very rare, right? Like, and Von Miller did just that.
Yep.
But I heard he's joining the Raiders. What do you guys think about that kind of thing?
Well, didn't Von Miller like shut that down though? Saying
Yeah,
he wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
I'm being comical. I'm just being a smartass. Yeah, could you imagine? He straight up he did say though he was like there's if I want to ruin my legacy type of thing, like that's one way to really do it right. But as a my Broncos
Exactly.
legacy specifically, right? So
Yeah,
he
I
shut
think
that
I
down
could
real quick.
quote him saying, "If I head to the west, it's back to Denver."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I don't think we have to worry about him.
No, it's just funny though because you got like these media members like you know Yahoo Sports probably doesn't know a damn thing about the Broncos that just created that article, right? Like, let's be real here.
Right?
Well,
Reality check.
Yeah, don't even get me started on media at all right now. So
hey, it's a slow time. It's a slow time of the year. I mean, the season. There's nothing really going on other like, and you know, leading up to the free agency. I'm sure there's stuff that you just hear that you know catch you off guard. But well, before we get started on our exercise, it looks like we got some comments that I'll dive into real quick. Jay Weaver, thank you for always tuning in, my brother. Much love to you. Yes, gotta love the collab. Yes, Ty, thank you for joining. We appreciate it because if not, we would be incomplete. You like that? You like
I see what you did there.
you like that? Well, He's cheating on me, but he's here. My brother, my other counterpart, my other Broncos bro, Montoya in the chat with the comment. What's going on, fellas? Even Broncos, bro? Thank you to the guests for coming in tonight while I fly back home. Much love for you, bro. All love, always, dude. And
That's
Shai
awesome.
Vargas jumping in the chat. Hey,
What's up, guys? What's up?
always gotta love Shai coming in the chat. Always love it. So I'm excited to get this whole exercise going, and I'm not talking about punching the boxing or anything like that. I'm not talking about riding a bike because we ain't doing all that.
Wait, we're not boxing, man. I was looking forward to that.
What I'm talking about is build your Broncos off season with a $10 budget. First, I got to give Mario Vitanze a shout out. He helped me with this. I sent a rough draft to him, and he basically shut the operation down. He was just like, "What are we doing?" But that's okay because I need that tough feedback. But he gave me some really good feedback. This is my first time kind of building one of these things. I took the feedback. Hopefully, he watches this and says, gives me the thumbs up. So, anyways, we got a $10 budget. And people will probably be like, but wide receiver is a must-have. It's a need. I get it. But you know what? This is free agency. We're building our offseason through just free agency with this current list. And with George Pickens coming off the board, he's getting franchise tagged there. Alec Pierce going to be franchise tagged there. There wasn't a whole lot of names that I was intrigued by, if I'm being honest. So I just said, let's cut that shit out. Let's just cut it out. But I do like some of the names: inside linebacker, running back, tight end. Breece Hall is not on here. He's probably going to be another one that gets franchise tag. I would have had him number 1 on my list. Let's be real here. Yeah. So I cut out a lot of the players that are going to be franchise tagged. So we got these names on the board, but it's still an intriguing list at these particular positions of need for the Denver Broncos that I think they'll attack and be fairly aggressive. But I'll start. We're gonna go around the horn. We got $10. It's better. This is harder than using the cap space that we would have, right, to build a team. Spend your money wisely. Money management is a life skill that I hope you guys have. So being that you guys are my guests, let's start this off, and I'll start off with Ty. Starting me off, give me your first player. You got $10. You're looking at this list. Who screams out to you that you're like, man, I gotta have this player?
All right. I think the first thing that I would focus in on is tight ends, and because we're gonna go back here a little bit. Ever since, and I was even watching highlights today, I feel like ever since Julius Thomas, we haven't really had that dynamic tight end. Yes, we had Owen Daniels, we've had a couple of tight ends here and there, but no one's really stood out since Julius Thomas. So my first thing that I'm targeting in free agency, going right for that tight end. And I'm going to be spending 4 of my $10, and I would go for Isaiah Likely, formerly, or I shouldn't say formerly, but he's currently on the Baltimore Ravens. Seeing him play is just been absolutely amazing. I wanted to go Dallas Goedert for a moment there, but seeing as I only had $10, it's just let's not get too crazy here. So I would probably say Isaiah Likely, just his ability to catch the ball and be able to, hopefully he can be kind of that Joker kind of a player for the Broncos.
He was solid playing behind Mark Andrews. They decided to go with Mark Andrews ultimately to give him that extension. Paving the way for Isaiah Likely to hit free agency, right? I know he's kind of dealt with some injuries throughout his career, type of thing. We'll see if Denver looks his direction, if he's in fact on our radar. But I see a lot of Broncos fans talking about Likely. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But dang, man, that's a good one. Okay, so $4 out of your $10, you got 6 to go. Well, if I'm being honest, we'll let Jolene go next for her position. She got $10. So Jolene,
Hey,
where,
I'm here.
where do you want to go with this to get your first selection off the board? Building your off season, you got $10, but what's a big need? What screams out to you? What's a player that you just have to have and you go out and spend that money on immediately?
Honestly, our running back room is probably the thing that I want to fix the most. Just because when Dobbins went down, the running game went down.
Yeah.
And so that tells me that that's the biggest need on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if our offense can do stuff with tight ends. So I know we can with our running backs. So
yeah, okay.
And out of these selections, I think I'll go with the low mileage dude. Give me Tyler Algier off of the Falcons. He has great ball security. He understands to be in a system where he's not number one all the time. And so therefore he's a humble guy. He'll take the ball when he gets it, and he's not going to be, just a stubborn punk. He can go out there and do the dirty work too. He's a great blocker. He's a great catcher, and he has decent vision, but it's called, he doesn't have all the injuries that some of these other guys have. Walker scares me. He's been on and off the field since he was drafted.
Yeah.
Etienne, I don't know. He's just getting into his own over there, and he was a first-round pick. And I think he does a lot of what Harvey does.
Yeah, he's redundant. I would feel like he's a redundant. I know that the report came out about the Broncos being in on either Breece Hall or a Travis Etienne. Well, when that came out, it just came to mind right away immediately. Mm-hmm. I thought of R.J. Harvey, right? That's kind of the role that R.J. Harvey would fill, right, in this offense. And we're trying to be dynamic. We're trying to improve this run game. So you selecting a Tyler Algier, I think, really makes complements the room fairly nicely.
Exactly.
Give you some solid production, right? He had over 1,000 yards, I think, his rookie year. I mean, and he didn't have. It's not his fault that they drafted Bijan Robinson, who's probably one of the best running back in this in the NFL, right? You can make an argument for that, but yeah, this guy is durable. He's only what, 25, so he's coming into his prime.
Well, he's 26 this year.
26 this year. Yeah, so he's just barely coming into his own, right? Like being in his own prime. And he can find some solid production in terms of, the running game of what we need, and probably get something similar to what you're going to pay for Kenneth Walker. And I'm glad that you brought up the name Kenneth Walker, because I'm going to run through some of these numbers. Like, he only ran for over 100 yards or more twice the whole season. And it's crazy. Week 1, 10 carries, 20 yards. Is that going to cut it? That was against the 49ers. This is his first 100-yard game, 13 carries, 105 yards. That's better, right? A lot better. And then against the Saints, I mean, it was probably a blowout, but it was 16 carries for 38 yards. But guess what? He only averaged 2.4 yards on average, right? I was like, I don't know. Right? 19 carries, 81 yards against the Cardinals. I'm just going down the list, and I'm just not really thrilled for the amount of money. If you're going to back up the Brinks truck for a player like of his caliber, like, you want to see solid production all across the board. You want to see more consistency, more of a game changer. And he has the talent, but you also mentioned the injuries, right? And that gives me some pause. And that's why I felt like, man, Breece Hall's a better running back, I think, all around, 3-level type of back. He can make an impact in the passing game. You don't really get that impact out of Kenneth Walker either in the passing game, right? Am I wrong?
I think they limited his game in the passing game because look at all the targets that they have on that offense.
That's fair. Okay.
JSN is
Mhm.
hogging the ball. You have Charb. You have, oh my gosh, just name after name after name
Okay.
on that Seattle offense. It was high octane. He wasn't needed in the pass game.
That's fair.
So I think that's one reason that otherwise, gosh, he might have had maybe one drop the entire year, if I remember right, but
Mm.
he just wasn't used that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And like you got, I mean, the Seattle Seahawks chose to franchise tag, not to chose, they chose not to franchise tag him for a reason, right? I mean, you just won the Super Bowl. He's your Super Bowl MVP. He had
Mhm.
quite the postseason run, obviously, right? That's a guy that you want to bring into your room, right? Obviously, you've seen Saquon Barkley, but I just feel like the production just is kind of iffy for me because if I'm going to give you money, I got to make sure that I'm getting my bang for my buck. I really don't feel that way with Kenneth Walker, and it hurts to say because he is a talented running back. And they feel like they got Charbonnet behind him who tore his ACL. But they're moving on from this guy for a reason too, right? That kind of makes you wonder why they're moving off of him, right? Because especially with the run that he just had. So I would
I have
just
to
say
wonder if it's money, even though Seattle has like the
they have what?
largest cap space.
Yeah.
But
So
maybe they're trying
oh,
to keep Darnold. Who knows?
very interesting. It's very interesting. You saw the Broncos. They played their MVP. They had a little hassle there for a little bit with John Elway, Von Miller. They got it done though. This whole
Right.
scenario is different. It doesn't look good. I would love to take care of my Super Bowl MVP, but they didn't. So enough with that rant. Just beware, I mean, he's a talented running back. So it's my turn. Sorry, I talked a lot, but I just wanted fans to be aware. Be aware. So, anyways, I'm coming now. I have my $10. Man, I've really gone back and forth, and I know running back's a big position in need. But man, you guys have each hit a position of need. So I'm gonna, hit another position. And I'm gonna go to the inside linebacker position. And this is a tough one, man. And if I'm really being honest with you, I struggled with this. I've contemplated back and forth as to who I really want. Devin Lloyd, I think he's gonna get the bag. But I don't think it'll be in Denver. I think it'll be elsewhere, right? If I'm being honest. But I think Devin Bush would be very intriguing in this Denver defense. And it was interesting to see me that he could have potentially been drafted by us had we not traded back, right, for Drew Lock and Noah Fant, right? He was a guy that was constantly mocked to us. You saw the mocks that went on throughout that season. Devin Bush though had a career year in Cleveland. You're not asking him to come in and be the guy, right? You got talent around him on this defense to where he can really make an impact, right? He didn't have to be the guy either in Cleveland, so I feel like he would be a good fit. He's a rangy type of inside linebacker who can, provide some pass coverage like we desperately needed. I mean, Alex Singleton, God, every time you got him on the field, I'm holding my breath in pass coverage, right? Like get this man off the field type of thing.
Yeah.
Devin Bush, I wouldn't feel that way. And he's a playmaker. We need a way to create more turnovers. I feel like Devin Bush is a guy that would provide that for us as well at that particular position. He had, I think, 2 pick sixes last year. So he's a guy that's definitely on my wish list of free agents. So I'm spending my $4 right off the bat out of my 10. Hi. Next players that intrigues you out of this list.
All right, so sorry, my headphones are being weird. So I actually thought about inside linebacker too. And funny thing about Devin Bush is I think when it was Denver's turn, that's when we traded, and Pittsburgh used that pick to grab Devin Bush. And like, all right, so we needed help on inside linebacker. Why didn't you just draft him instead of like giving it up to Pittsburgh? But I mean, there's reasons for everything. So I am gonna go with what you said and go inside linebacker, but I'm not gonna go Devin Bush. I am actually gonna go with Nakobe Dean from the Philadelphia Eagles. Since he was drafted by the Eagles, I think it was 2022. Yeah, 2022. And he's been like every single year he's gotten better. And I mean, I know in 2025 he got hit with a big time injury in the playoffs that knocked him out, but and unfortunately he didn't get to play the Super Bowl, but he played for the Super Bowl champion Eagles at that time, and he was just I there's something about him that I absolutely like. Now I have the thought that I think we're going to bring back Alex Singleton.
Like that. Really like that.
I really do think we bring back Singleton, but if for some odd reason we don't bring him back, then I would love to have Dean on our team because he's what was it? He has improved so much on his tackling. In the 2025 season when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, he set a career record for sacks prior to him getting hurt. So I think if we have a guy that can play all over the field, whether that be playing in the pass game, getting to the quarterback, or stopping the run, I think Dean is definitely one to keep an eye on.
I like Dean. I think if I'm not mistaken, and that's a good selection to spend your dollar on there, but I think he had talked about, right, maybe being interested in donning the orange and blue, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago.
Right. He sure did.
So that would be very interesting. I think he'd be a fit in Denver for sure. He has a high football IQ, very rangy linebacker, sideline to sideline type of guy. He'd be intriguing. I know he had some injuries throughout his career. I'd be interested to see what his actual market value would be, what he's looking for, what he sees fit. But he's a good processor as well in attacking the A gaps, We need somebody that's effective in the run game as well. I felt like some of the games we got our ass kicked in the trenches. He would help with that, helping, not waiting for the running backs to get to that second level. There were times where I would watch like Justin Strnad and Alex Singleton in particular, even during the time when Dre Greenlaw was out. Running backs were getting to that second level, right? They were kind of like hesitant of whether to attack or not those gaps. I think Dean would be a guy that, fills in those gaps real nice and would be an upgrade for us at that position. So I like it, though. I like the selection. Jolene, what about you? On to the next.
Definitely not making it easy on that one. You're missing a guy that I would love to see on the linebackers as an option.
Oh. Yeah,
I want to see Caden Ellis on there.
Okay.
I want to bring a Bash brother over into Broncos country. That way he and his little bro can hang out. I really like the idea of having the Ellis brothers together.
Okay.
He was drafted by Sean Payton when he was with the Saints 7 years ago. So not only do you have the family connection, you have the coach connection.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really good. He moves all over the place. He can play all the different spots, inside, outside. He's great on coverage. He's great on run stuffing. So, yeah, you team him up with Dre Greenlaw. I love that idea.
Okay. Well,
I put him in maybe the $2 spot. How about that?
Okay, I'll let you have it. I don't know. I liked Leo Chenal a little better, but that's just me. Because Chenal, and if you guys don't remember Chenal, he's the one that blocked the field goal against the Denver Broncos, the game-winning blocked field goal to beat Denver, right?
Last year.
Yeah, last year.
That really stung, but how intriguing would it be to still a rival player and add him to this Broncos defense in Leo Chenal. This guy, every time I watch him, he just feels like he's a playmaker, right? That's the sense I get with him. Early down type of inside linebacker, I think would be special. I I mean, he's not the best in coverage, but I feel like he has some good instincts. So I would like to see him definitely added to this room. He could be something. Maybe he'll be a little on the cheaper side if Denver doesn't want to break the bag open, and maybe instead of add one guy, they add two inside linebackers right this offseason. Maybe they add Chanel on a cheaper deal and go with another name. It'll be interesting because there's a lot of flexibility. There's a number of pathways that we can take this offseason, which is nice.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I'm
I
intrigued.
mean, with him, he's 25.
Yeah.
So that's essentially a prime age for linebacker, right?
Untapped potential that I see with this guy.
And honestly, he's a better Stranad. He does special teams. He does some of the dirty work. So if we don't sign back Stranad, I would absolutely take a flyer on Chanel.
For sure. Definitely. Like he could be your Stranad replacement. You nailed it on the head, right? Like
exactly. And he's 3 years younger than Stranad, which is crazy to think. But yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it. Yeah, untapped potential is kind of why I kind of brought him over Caden Ellis, if I'm being honest.
Gotcha.
Next position. Ty, you're up next. Did I skip you, Julian? No, I didn't. I did you go? I just
She went with Ellis, I believe.
Yeah, you did. That's what got me. You chose to screw my list over, and you went with Ellis. You didn't like my list. You should have made your own. Damn it.
You didn't give me the assignment.
All right. So it's my turn, right? Okay.
Sure.
Yes. So I got $6 to my name, and there's a player that I like. And this one's a tough one. So I like Dallas Goedert a lot, but I feel like he's headed towards the wrong side of 30. So if I'm going to invest in the tight end room, I want to invest in somebody that's just coming into their prime. Maybe we need an inline tight end, to really be dynamic and have an impact in the run game. We really need to improve the running game, and you do that by getting Cade, and I think he's only 26, had over 500 yards receiving. But I don't just look at a box score when it comes to the tight end position, for impact. I look at look at his overall game, and man, this guy he sticks out really well to me in terms of how he is as a run blocker, just a blocker overall. I feel like he'd be an upgrade, and he also gives Denver an opportunity to not really have to reach for a tight end in the draft, right? Because you're invested. Mm-hmm. He's younger. I'd spend $3 on this man immediately. He did pretty good. I really liked him these last few years with Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield at the quarterback position. I think Otton really stood out to me in that offense. But they have a lot of firepower as well. Go to. So I feel like he's another player that's just untapped potential that could be something in Denver. Honestly, if I'm being honest, like just spot on. I like him.
Yeah, he'll be 27 in April.
Thank you.
So,
okay. So there you go. Prime candidate. I don't know. That's how I feel. So Cade Otton, and I spent my money on Devin Bush. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to really get cheap at the running back position. I might end up with J.K. Dobbins, and all of some Broncos fans are gonna be pissed off at me. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll see. Ty, cap us off with your financials.
All right, so I've spent $7 so far. So and I've done inside linebacker and tight end. So basically, if I only have $10, I have to choose between Tyler Algier and J.K. Dobbins. And you know what? I am actually going to save my $1 for something that could be useful. Maybe I want a candy bar at some store.
Okay, hey.
So I am gonna go with.
You could get a candy bar for that price either, though. With the way the economy
is. That's true. I mean, I'll find a way to stretch that dollar, but I am actually going to. I'm a big. Sorry, let me try that again. I am a person that's like a huge believer in like sticking with what we've got, basically. And given what J.K. Dobbins had done for us before he gotten hurt is just absolutely amazing. And it really like upsets me that we lost in the AFC Championship game because J.K. Dobbins would have been primed ready for the Super Bowl. And I really do believe he could have had a Kenneth Walker kind of performance against that Seahawks defense. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice and give him another chance. I'm going to go with J.K. Dobbins. I mean, from what we saw last year, he was just absolutely phenomenal. Can run the ball. He can even catch the ball like out in the passing game. And I think he'd be a good fit for someone like an RJ Harvey to learn under. So I would actually I would love to keep J.K. Dobbins on this team.
Okay. Before we get into yours, and I talk about Ty's pick real quick, let me get to some of these comments we got. Clinton Heron, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, but he says, hey guys, and he says, smash that like button and share, guys. Man, I appreciate you for watching our show. We really appreciate it. Much love to you, man. Jay Weaver coming in. He just wants to to do that with George Pickens spending $10. Look at you. You're all salivating over George Pickens. Mm-hmm. You might have to trade the farm too for him next. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, God. And then he comes in with some real legitimate selections. He ain't that big of a clown. But Jay is coming in. Chanel with $2. I see you. Kenneth Walker, $5. And $3. Ooh, I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like that one. I like it. My boy Dante with Crew Talk Sports comes in, and he just gets disrespectful when it comes to the tight end position. But he does say Walker. Okay. And then he comes in with Dean, and he says, I'm good on tight end. Oh, man. Get better.
That's a bold take, honestly.
And Njoku, huh? Interesting. And you are something else. But I respect you for coming in and giving us your selections. Jay, again, Chanel should give us Chiefs. Oh, boy.
Give us that 2 points back for blocking that field goal.
Chai comes in and says, trade J.K. Dobbins. He's injury prone. Well, unfortunately, we can't not trade him unless we were to tender him, but I don't see us tendering him. What I do see is he's a free agency, and maybe we bring him back on a vet minimum. Ty, you brought up of spending your money on him. He would symbolize some continuity, having that familiarity with Sean Payton's offense. He's shown that he can be productive in this offense. But that's a gamble, in my opinion, if you're not bringing anybody else to the room, which I would ask you afterwards. But J.K. Dobbins, the best ability is availability, and we have not seen that throughout his career. That would give me pause spending some money on him. But if we brought in another room or drafted a rookie, I would say, okay, if that's what the Broncos feel like. But I think they go in another direction and maybe revisit J.K. Dobbins if they don't find somebody that they really like. Ty, what do you feel, bro?
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking about when I was making my selections. Like, I understand that he is very injury prone, but it's the familiarity with the system. And my thought is, like, we bring Dobbins in, and then we draft running back in this upcoming drafts. Which I wouldn't be mad about it, because I honestly do understand the whole process of him being hurt, and so the vet minimum actually would make perfect sense to me. Maybe a little bit more because of what he did this year, but not too much more. And then drafting someone to fall behind just in case he does end up getting hurt, and then RJ Harvey isn't really having the. But I do think Harvey will have a little bit of a better year next year.
Yeah, we'll see if he has that growth.
Yeah, and then definitely bring in like a rookie running back to help out a little bit as well.
Awesome. Okay, Jolene, kind of, you're next with your other selection, right? This is your last one. Yeah. Is there any other names that you want to bring in that you have on your notepad there because you don't like my damn list? But go ahead, share the class.
I was tempted, but I think I want to go Likely too. Isaiah Likely.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
talking about run blocking. This dude is legit when it comes to run blocking.
Okay.
And he's a little bit bigger than Autzen, and younger than both Njoku and Goddard.
Red zone threat.
So, yeah, he's got everything that you'd want.
But the pass blocking, doesn't that give you a little bit of concern, or how do you feel about that? I feel like his pass blocking is a little, but hey,
It's shaky, but at the same time, if he can get in with like the O-line coach,
okay,
maybe he can build up on that a little.
okay,
I believe in our coaching staff very highly, and if there's a will, there's a way. So the question really comes down to him. Is he wanting to improve on that? I think he would want to improve just because that would get him on the field more.
yeah.
I mean, look at Troutman. He was on the field quite a bit. He didn't see the ball a lot, but he was on the field a lot. So get him involved in the big man sets. Heck, he could help out, especially on the running side. But if it really came to, all right, we're going to do some trickery here, maybe push out and do some screens, because, we're all about the screen game. So I think he could be a fun guy to go out there and maybe give Ingram a run for his money too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like last year he had production. I mean, it was solid production, not the best, right? 27 receptions, 307 yards, 1 touchdown, 11.4 average on his receptions. But he's fairly young, right? 25. So he's in his prime. So
He'll be 26 this year. His
Yep.
birthday is in April, looks like.
yeah, so he'll be 26. After I think before the draft or something. But yeah, he's a guy that, and I think a lot of people are intrigued by. David Talk Sports is a guy that's been pounding the table as well for Isaiah Likely. I know a lot of folks are. But I mean, hey, we want to get better in the room. If that's a guy that we add and we do that, sure. I'll respect Sean Payton. I ain't gonna second guess him. They just maneuvered the biggest cap hit in history, right? Like who am I? I'm just on the couch watching the games and all that. So
Exactly.
go ahead. All right, here we go. Can I go tight end again and just say F the running back room and go get somebody in the draft? Can I do that? I'm just kidding.
Somebody's in the draft.
So, I only got $3 left, huh? Got Devin Bush, and I got K-Dot, and I only got $3. So guess what, Tyler Algier? It was a match made in heaven. You were meant for me, baby. Come on in. Come on down to Denver. Saddle up your horses, baby, because we're going to ground and pound. The Denver Broncos are going to be freaking wreaking havoc come December, January. We're going to be hoisting the Lombardi. He's one of the missing pieces. If we just had a Tyler Algier in our room, ladies and gentlemen, we could have been in the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you, because that's what it came down to. Could we run the football at that particular time? Well, we couldn't.
Yep.
Algier, perfect compliment to him. And I don't got the money to go get Kenneth Walker, so my ass is banking on Tyler Algier to have a great season. And I feel like he would do well in Denver, right? Behind that offensive line, like why not, right? I mean, we were 4th in run block win rate. So that's pretty solid. We took a step back from number 1, but that's okay. Some of it was part of like maybe learning the scheme, right? We went to like more of a zone scheme, gap.
Yep.
I really like him. I feel like he would be a good fit in Denver. And you probably don't necessarily have to break the bank with him. And maybe you looked to later rounds drafting a running back, or maybe I don't know. It'll be interesting, but he gives you some flexibility for sure because I like his upside in this offense. I like it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're done with our Build Your Broncos offseason. We're going to get into the draft. Please let us know who you guys like the most out of our selections that we had. I had some good ones. I had some good ones. Jolene had kind of good ones because she didn't like my list, but that's okay. Uh, she had great ones, you guys. It was fun. It was a good exercise. This was fun. So I just want to say thank y'all. I'm gonna just give you guys a round of applause because that's what we do over here on this show. Think about turkey, do whatever you guys had to do. That was a fun little sesh exercise. We got through it. I'm sweating. But let's talk draft now. Oh, okay, Jolene. I want this on. I'm gonna clip this shit right here because I gotta ask you. You're on the clock. We're about to be on the clock, or do you trade back number 30, or when April? When is it? When is the draft? April 23rd.
Give or
Who are
take.
you selecting with the Broncos' first round selection? I just got to know.
Oh man.
And I could pull up PFF right now. We could do a quick little scenario if you want. We could have some fun with this. Is my show. We do what we want.
Yes, please do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We do what we want. Nobody tell me what to do. I do what we want here too. We're gonna have some fun, you guys. So this would be interesting, right? Because I mean, me and you were talking, and it kind of came up today on the timeline. I think somebody had asked. I think Benjamin Albright as to who he thinks the Broncos could draft. Right? Was it a tight end or something like that? And he was like, "It's not who's been getting mocked, right? The position, linebacker, tight end wasn't. I don't think it'll be that." So that was interesting. That raised some eyebrows for sure. Okay.
And you are correct. It is on April 23rd through the 25th, which is actually a little earlier than it's been in previous
Thank you
years.
for getting my back on that. Yeah.
That's true. It's a week earlier. than
Yeah, a
last
week
year.
earlier. Yep.
Here
Yeah,
we go.
last year it was like the last weekend of April. So
I'm going to start the draft for those that are watching. All right. Here we go. Pick number 30.
Gosh,
right.
that was fast. My goodness.
They
it's
were
on
excited for the
turbo.
draft this year. Draft day. There was no trade. They just jumped right in. Look at that. Fernando
Boom,
Mendoza.
boom, bye, bye.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's see.
Boy.
I'm just curious to see where my boy went. Kenyon Sadiq was gone.
Oh, he went to the Bills. Darn. That's actually what I was going to pick.
Oh my God, he's gone. Anyway, CJ Allen, Caleb Lamo. Am I pronouncing that right, Julian? I butcher that guy's name.
Lemieux?
Yeah.
Looks like a
Lomu.
moo.
Mhm.
Yeah, Lomu.
Kristen Miller. Are we going corner? Are we going to shock the world again and get another damn corner? My lord.
Oh geez.
Enough.
I think
Only if
Trump,
they put Riley in a trade package for someone.
So
yeah.
I don't think it happened.
Yeah. Are you pretty big on positional value when it comes to the drafts, particularly premium draft capital, first round kind of thing? How do you
Given
feel?
that that's your 5-year cheap card, so to speak, you want to get the expensive guys with your first rounder.
Okay.
So that's your wide receiver, that's your quarterback, that's your offensive tackle, and usually an edge would come in all that.
Okay.
Also, high end would be corner. You don't see the good corners hitting the market,
Right.
but you also don't see tackles hitting the market. And when I say tackle, I mean defensive tackle. So these guys like Lee Hunter out of Texas Tech.
The Eagles, they're investing in the trenches in this particular scenario. So walk me through this. These are the names that are on the board. I mean, we're not going corner, right? You talked wide receiver, you talked trenches.
Let's look at trenches here.
Let's look at trenches.
Show me the DTs or the DLs, wherever they have on there.
Okay.
So Kristen Miller, Georgia Bulldog,
Oh yeah.
he's a good one.
We don't have
good run stuffer.
We need to fill that void, right? I mean, I know we got man, I'm trying to blink, but I really enjoyed him. We got him out of Louisiana, New Orleans. Remember we signed him. Malcolm Roach. Really like him. Really do.
He is awesome.
So
And surprisingly, he's been healthy with
yeah,
the Broncos. When he was with the Saints, he had some really hard time staying on the field.
Mhm.
And so I think that was one reason that the Broncos got him at a discount. But now they've signed him, so he's gotten a little more cash in the bank, so to speak, right?
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
But Christian Miller, he can get after people, but he can stop people like a brick wall.
Big gap,
He's
big
a
gap.
big dude.
He looks like he has some versatility in his game, right? Looking at this snap alignment.
Yep.
I mean, few of the snaps, right, were off ball and outside, the tackle, but still, like, you see the versatility, the way he was used. Look at the run defense grade. I don't know how much you put into PFF grades, you know what I mean? But
I don't
take with
care
it.
too much about their grades,
Yeah,
but the pass rush win rate is a fantastic number to look at. That was something that I was looking at when we drafted Nick Bonito. He had one of the highest pass rush win rates
okay.
in college ball. And to me, that is more of a reflector of how they're going to do at the next level.
Okay. No, that's good knowledge to share with the viewers and myself. Like, that's good. I mean, yeah, like you can never really know, because sometimes I feel like a lot of the grades lack some context, right? Like,
Yeah,
for sure, with these
absolutely.
grades, they don't really say what they're basing their grades off of, right? But
Mhm.
who would you select? I mean, we're looking at trenches right here.
Can you show me guards?
Yeah. Ooh, you
Offensive
know who I
guard.
like. You know who I like.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if he's good.
Emmanuel Pregnon. Oh man, he's a guy that if you want to get disgusting and be physical in the run game, he is your
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Because to me, I think it would come between Miller and Pregnon.
Yeah. Okay.
Pregnon is one of
How
my
do you feel?
favorite guards in this class.
Another Mauler, real quick. This guy, Max, I don't know how to really pronounce his last name. Ahianker.
Oh, they
He's
actually put
German.
out a pronunciation guide, and I still slaughter it. So yeah, no, I'm not even gonna try. This guy, Max, he's really young, so
Mhm.
it would be good for him to sit a year.
And he's in a situation in Denver because you got Garrett Bowles, you got McGlinchey. Maybe you look down the road now and you're like, hey, this guy's developed pretty good. If you feel comfortable with his
Exactly.
development, you move off maybe from a McGlinchey to kind of lessen
Uh-huh.
the impact in terms of the cap on your offensive line. You get younger, but you don't
Yep,
really lose your production there with this particular player, I feel.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's definitely that. Um, I wonder about how good he is in the push game when you need to run the ball, because
Yeah.
Broncos have not had a great time of
Thank you, Cody.
moving people.
Jolene, he says you're killing it. Yes, she is. That's why I have her on my show. Should be taking my even kill my damn exercise.
I'm not gonna live that one down, am I?
No, you're not. No, not
Oh,
tonight.
man. Okay, next time I'll bring my own sheet. Nah, so yeah, that's the biggest question for me on Max is, will he be able to help with pushing the run game, or is he going to be pushed on, which has been the issue with everyone else.
Okay.
Pregnon, I don't see that problem. I think he can win in the run game. I think he can be like Quinn on the other side, and they can just
Yes.
become a crazy monster pushing people downfield. So honestly, offensive tackle is just not very strong in this
Okay.
draft class. So
Maybe you're looking at day 2 to maybe upgrade, get some development going, get some young youth in the pipeline. But
yeah,
and then yeah. So where would you go? Who are you drafting? You feeling Miller or Pregnon? for you?
Man, I need to flip a
It's hard.
coin. I think Miller is ranked higher for me.
Okay.
So I would probably do BPA, and that would be Miller.
Ooh, okay. Andy Drafts, where I like to watch a lot of his content throughout the Twitter timeline. I think he was on Let's Talk Broncos too as well. Said that Kristen Miller would be a great player to fill that void for Jonathan Franklin Myers or John Franklin Myers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would
JFM,
be
he's
a good
walking.
selection.
So
Yeah. They gave you a
don't see
B,
him
but
coming.
it's because you take CJ Allen. But like you said, positional value is what it comes down to. And I feel like this draft class is fairly deep at the inside linebacker position. If I'm
Yes.
honest, like there's guys, and we see this time and time again, even guys that are drafted later down the line, that could be something, right?
Yep. Honestly, the draft class that Chanel was in, that had a ton of linebackers. And I mean, he was picked at the end of the third round that year. There must have been 8 that went off the board before him.
Okay.
But that's just me attempting to remind myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, second round, I would absolutely consider hitting linebacker there. Jacob Rodriguez is one of my favorites in this class. But gosh, there are so many that you can pick from. And second round feels like kind of the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Or you could trade down maybe a little. But yeah, day 2 is going to be fun in this draft.
For sure. Ty, how are you feeling? You're up on deck. Who's your first round pick gonna be? We can run through this together just as a fun little exercise. Being that what we just talked about, what do you feel the Denver Broncos will do? And I'm gonna check real quick to see if Sadiq went. He went. So Kenyon Sadiq.
To the Chargers. Of course he did.
That's kind of a name that I guess might be in on Sadiq as well. So that's pretty interesting, despite them drafting Gatson last year. You know, they want to double up on that position. Very interesting. You mean you got Mike McDaniel there, who's known to have explosive offenses, you know. So how do you feel though, anyways, moving on to the Broncos with Sadiq gone? Do you want to look at wide receiver? Do you want to look at maybe some linemen?
Yeah, I would because we didn't get to focus much on wide receiver in our using $10. I would probably look at the wide receiver options here.
Yeah.
One name that oh wait, I think he was picked up because I was looking at let's look at his name real quick. Jordan Tyson from Arizona State was one I was looking into. But I think he was
going to be gone in like the first 15, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Jordan Tyson
went to the Dallas.
Back to back, yeah, and then we got Carnell Tate. Those. Denzel Boston's a nice name that I have my eyes on as well, maybe for a potential trade up. But I feel like we're gonna probably stand pat or trade back, maybe depending on the way the board falls, maybe.
Yeah, if the board falls this way, I would be okay with us trading back and trying to grab some draft capital as well.
Okay.
Especially because I see Chris Bell right there, and I think he could be a really good option there. If we decide to stand pat, Chris Bell would be a really good option for me. Out of Louisville. I'm just gonna look up some kind of information on him. Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot there. Here we go. Perfect. Omar Cooper. 6 foot 204. That's actually not too bad. My thing is if we go wide receiver here, I want to get someone that's actually going to kind of be a compliment to Courtland Sutton. I know a lot of fans and a lot of analysts have said that is Courtland Sutton really a true wide receiver 1, but I could see him being that way only if we can complement him with someone that could be a good wide receiver 1B or a wide receiver 2. So I would look at Chris Bell if we decide to stay Pats, but if given anything and even thought about this for a moment. I'm curious to see what Denver does in this offseason with their offensive line, because there's been a lot of rumblings that Ben Powers, they could find a way either to restructure him or just end up trade him or release him at some point. So I would say definitely keeping an eye on like guards in that first round for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that,
a solid one. Chris Bell, you can't go wrong with those. Elijah Surratt as a potential replacement, maybe for Cortland Sutton later down the line. As a name that is intriguing to me. I'm actually pretty high on the Surratt, but I don't know if I'm willing to spend a first on him. Maybe I'd trade up in the second, maybe depending on how far down the line he gets to our pick. I think at 62.
I'll even throw out there regarding wide receiver. I know we have Cortland Sutton, and there's been a lot of talk of like, oh, like is Troy Franklin gonna take that next step? Is Marvin Mims gonna take that? And you and I talked about this a little bit, Dak. The whole Denver offense not utilizing Marvin Mims for what he can do is kind of honestly disturbing at this point, because I feel like the past 2 years he's really come on towards the end of the year. And I feel like if we could have just done that early on in the season, the season would have been so much better. Because, I mean, we look at the divisional round, how he caught that touchdown and how he's been utilized in punt return. I wonder if it's because Sean Payton wants him mostly healthy for when it comes to the return game, and that's why he hasn't been utilized much in offense. But at this point, you got to take a chance and say, like, Mims has that chance to be a good route runner, catch balls in the center of the field, able to get those long touchdowns. Like we saw against Cleveland 2 years ago, where he caught that 93-yard touchdown. Like, why can't we utilize him in that format?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it too maybe is he has a limited route tree, and I feel like if Sean Payton wanted him to be that wide receiver too within this offense, if we want to label him as such, or give him, I would say, increases volume in terms of the offense, I feel like Marvin Mims needs to improve in his route tree, but also in his effort that he has. I feel like sometimes you don't really see a whole lot of effort out of him. He's a dynamic player, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's room for improvement there when it comes to him. And I feel like maybe like an Omar Cooper Jr. would be definitely an upgrade for this offense that we need. And Troy Franklin is coming into his own as well. We'll see there, but I think Cooper Jr. would be – he's like my fifth. I have him ranked fifth in terms of the wide receivers in this draft class. And then Chris Bell, that's like right there. I don't know. Where would you go with this selection? Chris Bell or Omar Cooper if this is the way the board fell?
I'm trying to I'm looking real quick. Yeah, I would really say – worst case scenario, if this is how the board falls. Actually, I think I'll take a page from Jolene here a little bit and look at like who's the best player available at pick 30, and maybe just go. So we have Lee Hunter. So that would be a really good pickup right there, especially if JFM Myers doesn't come back next year. So I would
fresh win rate too, 10.6%, pretty close to Kristen Miller, the Jolene selection. So keeping your defense stout.
Yeah, Lee Hunter is more of a nose tackle.
Okay.
So he'll be right there, lined up across from the center.
Big gap. Yep. Big gap. See that?
Yeah, that should be really nice to have someone that can really like force that center to like snap the ball and quickly block real quick. And because Lee Hunter
30, we need size in that interior as well. You saw.
Oh, absolutely.
Bills. This would be a solid selection for sure, I think too. How big was Kristen? Him too. You know what I mean? So you can't really go wrong with one of those two players.
Yeah. So I would say if this is how the board falls, if Denver doesn't really love a wide receiver in that first round, either they trade back or just grab best player available, and you can go wrong with Lee Hunter at this point.
Okay. Ooh, I like it. And you saw how good Texas Tech's defense was, man. They were pretty solid this season in terms of talent that they have. It's a fairly deep draft with a bunch of Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Yeah.
You got a B plus for that one, so I like it.
Nice.
Let's go to me real quick, and then we'll wrap up this whole ordeal. This has been really fun, you guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh,
Oh, lucky.
and me.
You rigged it.
I rigged it. I'm gonna redo this. You know who I am. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I mean, if you see Sadiq there at 30, that you got to go for it.
Yeah.
You're like running to the podium, like we're getting this guy, and like just slamming the card down, like this is our guy right here.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. And I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna go wide receiver. I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, boy, I'm gonna go wide receiver because the way off the wide receiver contracts have exploded. The market is so crazy for wide receivers. You got to get that fifth-year option. You got to have that position cost effective with your quarterback being cost effective as well. Man, this is tough, but I really find myself going with Omar Cooper Jr.
Okay.
We missed out on and they give me a C minus. Well, C is 10 degrees. I really don't give a shit. What I would say is Omar Cooper Jr. You saw what Emeka Egbuka was for the Buccaneers. I feel like he could provide that kind of production for the Broncos in this rookie season. Pretty solid run blocker. You can motion him, he can do motion. You want to improve your inner triangle, like we like to call. He's a guy that does that, right? So I don't know. I feel like he'd be a great upgrade. Really good in route technician that Sean Payton likes out of his wide receivers, and he's not afraid to do the dirty work, right? He'd be a solid fit. I think he's only going to climb up the boards if I'm being honest.
Absolutely.
With him, I love his ability for breaking tackles.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of guys of those that can do that.
No, I think we might have had one of the worst receiving cores as it was for breaking tackles. We had such a limited rate. I need to do some research on that. I'll tweet it to find out.
But yeah, we were towards the bottom when it comes to Sutton. I mean, even though for a wide receiver one, you would think that he can do that too, but you don't see any of that out of any of our guys.
No.
More of that. That's why I like AJ Brown as a trade candidate for Denver, because he can do that. He can turn a simple little slant route into something that's explosive, right? Because he has that factor where he can just break a tackle and take off. This was a lot of fun, you guys. I really enjoyed tonight's show. It was very it wasn't painful at all. I would have been by myself. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. This was the trifecta. So yeah. Any last words that you guys want to say or anything you want to touch on before we head on out here tonight?
Nah, just excited to see how the combine goes and who the top performers end up being. Then start calculating all those RAS numbers, right?
Oh yeah, that'll be throughout the week. We get those RAS scores. It'll be interesting to see who really does some tests pretty high, right?
Yep.
Two wide receivers that I really have my eyes on are Brennan Thompson and Malik Benson at that position. It'll be interesting to see who runs faster. But that Thompson is freaking fast too. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. They're projecting him to break the record or something like that. Pretty close to it. I don't know. We'll see.
That'd be wild. Wow.
Yeah. But this was fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the invite. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a great show. Ty, where can they follow you at?
Oh, okay. So you can find me on almost any social media at TieFlyGuy15, or you could also follow the Incomplete podcast at in_com_plete_2. Me and my co-host Kelly are on a little bit of a wouldn't say hiatus. This is usually our like off-season break, but we'll be back right after the draft to talk free agency and the
Awesome.
draft and things like that. So find me at Incomplete, or you can find me on any other social medias. I'm mostly active on Twitter for the most part, so
Mhm.
you see me there. Or
Awesome.
actually during the off-season, I'm actually more active on Blue Sky, so you can find me there too.
Oh, all right.
No, I think you do follow me, Ty, on Blue Sky. Anyway, I haven't been too active on there, so shame on me. Jolene, where can they find you? Is that underneath your name? Is that where they can
Yeah.
find you on X?
Yeah, Uganda's Joy 01 on Twitter. That's mostly where I hang out. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. This was a fun time, you guys. Thanks again. Ladies and gentlemen, it's almost draft day. It's almost free agency. We're going to have a blast. Lock in. And remember, Dave and Broncos, bro. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Do believe in Broncos, bro, when we hit that field. Orange and blue pride, it's our strength and our shield. Every win, every loss, we deal with the flow. Broncos bros on the mic, let the whole world know. So tune in tight as we break it down slow. Broncos bros forever, let the whole world know.